Hello, good afternoon. It's me, TK, Coach on the Rocks. Thank you for tuning in on this wonderful Wednesday. And I've got, as always, something hopefully interesting to talk about. So, what I want to talk about is what do you do when you don't know how to move forward? What do you do to make sure that you're taking action and not standing still? We've encountered that ourselves at Humble Associates time and time again, and it's the same with our clients. Quite often, there's a situation where something you're doing, an organizational change, or I don't know, your marketing effort, or maybe the way you sell, is not getting you the results, and you're thinking, what is it that I'm supposed to do? I'm clueless. And there's many ways of dealing with it. Some people prefer to sit and analyze things. I have what I call a bias for action. I don't know if it's the correct way to say it. Maybe I'm just impatient. Maybe it's, hyperactivity and attention deficit. But I think that you can't solve a problem just by looking at it. You probably want to experiment a bit. You probably want to take a step. So Jerry Weinberg, sadly he's not with us anymore, has coined the term that a consultant should be a jiggler. He, in his book, The Secrets of Consulting, I believe, he told a story about that in the US Army they had a problem with a radar. It just couldn't work. And they figured out the problem by just shaking it, and finally they installed a device that introduced like a random vibration, which they call the jiggler. And he thinks a consultant should be such a jiggler for the company that he or she is working with. The way we do it at Humble Associates is that we tend to do small experiments. So today is a good example of that. And actually, these live sessions are a great example. So you might have seen that as Humble Associates, we have plenty of live sessions on our company channel. But I thought, you know what, maybe to get more exposure, to be able to get my ideas out there a bit better, I can start a personal video. And here it is, the TK Coach on the Rocks, which I have previously started as an audiogram. Now it's a video session. So my hypothesis is, even by doing it at random times of the day when I actually have time, I will still have people tuning in and being able to respond and listen about my ideas. By the way, if you're here, feel free to comment, feel free to like, so I can acknowledge you, and maybe, if you have a question, I can answer your question or relate to what you're saying and your own opinions and highlights. So, small experiments. It's easy to say make small experiments, but actually what you want to do is you want to sit down and you want to say, right, I want to do this, and this is the result I expect, and this is how I will see if it had actually worked. So the way we do it is we try to measure. You can't measure everything, and sometimes it's a red herring. But essentially, I personally believe that you should set out in making these small experiments with a goal in mind, with an outcome that you can validate. Either, it's okay to do it further, or you should pivot and do something different. And I think the most important thing is that the experiment can be radical, but the more radical it is, the quicker it should turn around. So for instance, maybe you'd like, I'm running these events. After a few days, I've noticed that I've got decent views. People are tuning in, and then people are viewing these events. And I've concluded, because I'm getting decent peak live views and I'm getting decent engagements and decent lifetime views, I thought, okay, it's worth doing it every day. So I, got a new phone stand, so it's no longer shaky, hopefully. Things like that. I've upped my game. I'm now properly recording them, and maybe I'll mix them up. And I can do more. I can invest more into it. And this ties into what I spoke about yesterday, that it's probably best to get things done rather than to constantly wait and see if I can do it perfectly. Essentially, these small experiments, as I said, need a hypothesis. So if there's one thing to take away is, if you don't know what to do something. But don't do it at random. Do it with a hypothesis in mind. Do it with an outcome in mind and say, by doing this, I'm expecting this will be the result, and I'll be happy to reinforce it and continue if I see this particular set of data. Now, I told you the story about me doing it for personal/company reasons, but when we were helping teams in business change or delivering value for a core business function, we do the same thing. Sometimes things aren't working, things are stagnating, and expectations aren't being met. And what we do is we start with these small experiments. Is we start with saying, right, let's change something, let's do something differently, sometimes for the sake of maybe doing it differently with a hypothesis. Because once you get things moving, you never know what you will discover. You can also take the other route and try to analyze it and maybe have one shot at it. But only you can do that when you're comfortable with the safety to fail. When you can actually maybe say, okay, we've tried live events. So we had Agile 101 as a weekly event, and it isn't that great. We're not reaching the audience that we hoped we would be reaching, and we are making now a series of once every 3 weeks, hoping that more people will be able to join and see the material. Still, I think plenty of you are seeing the Coach on the Rock series, so just say hi or comment. You might be commenting, but LinkedIn isn't showing it to me. That is a thing that happens, by the way. Well, LinkedIn, I don't want to blame it. By the way, there's more. Now, if you go to the Humble Associates profile, you will see that we have a new ebook out. It's a wonderful thing. It talks about a journey of an Agile leader. So how do you become and achieve excellence as an Agile leader? I won't spoil it for you. We had plenty of fun with the team writing it. So we do hope you'll enjoy it, and you'll enjoy its wonderful graphics. So go to our Humble Associates profile and see it there. You also are more than invited to tomorrow's Humble Agile Breakfast. Humble Agile Fireside Chat. We've got so many events with Shade. We'll be talking about some exciting stuff. And yeah, if you like these Coach on the Rocks chats and you find them valuable, just follow me, ring a bell, as they do say on YouTube, and I will see you tomorrow. That's it for now. See you tomorrow.